today. Chances of returning to the continent after drawing with, and we'll be taking you to Nambole, have been arrested for dealing in remand. And the trio took it off. Now the trio Agatonika Mbabazi.
We cannot have a lake without young fish. A lake without young fish is like a ship without compass.
In the past weeks, we have so far captured nets worth 3 million.
The State Minister for Finance, Matea Kasaija, says that the bill that provides for a regulatory framework to facilitate safe development and application of biotechnology has not been suspended. The National Biotechnology and Biosafety Bill 2012, which also provides for a regulatory framework for the development and general release of genetically modified organisms in Uganda, was tabled in Parliament in February last year, but is yet to be debated. Kasaija's comments come amid reports that the bill was suspended.
I want to state it categorically, we have not withdrawn the bill. If anything, we are doing everything possible to get this bill debated and passed. If anything, we are pushing it. I am even ready to go and join the NRM caucus to debate. We have brought all scientists from around Africa. They have been here, they have talked.
Not only look at science, at the GMO aspect, it looks at the science and technology, which is broad. We have other forms of science and technology which haven't yet been also fixed in this bill, which later on I think will be amended over time through the advice of government.
This bill has to comply with the Cartagena Protocol, whereby the determinate gene technology, I'll be very honest, this is consultation from the scientists. The determinate gene technology doesn't exist.
National Water and Sewerage Corporation has issued a deadline of 14th September to all illegal water consumers. The corporation says it has intensified a crackdown on the vice through their new program, Water Loss Prevention. And in partnership with the Uganda Police, National Water and Sewerage Corporation says it loses over 30% of water that would have been availed to other customers.
Unlike before, this time I think we have very serious punitive measures to make sure that those who have been playing with our system are really handled in the best way they are supposed to handle.
So we have intelligence, we'll be gathering intelligence. We have a unit that will be carrying operations, that is arrests. Then we have investigations. So I therefore wish to inform Ugandans that whoever gets involved in these illegal activities, which are criminal, will not survive.
So you deny the common man that otherwise National Water would be able to formally supply water to you. We deny the common man this water. Financially, this water is treated. National Water incurs a cost to produce this water.
Now, the Uganda Cranes will aim at getting their first win of the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifiers, of course, sponsored by Orange, when they host Guinea at the Mandela National Stadium. And every Ugandan right now is very, very excited. The Uganda Cranes' history is really very good, and it's on our side. But we need to get the predictions right now. This is our poll question this afternoon. What are your predictions of today's match between Uganda Cranes and Guinea at Nambole? In case you need to give us your predictions, just go on our Facebook page, look for NTV Uganda. You can even follow us on Twitter, look for @NTV Uganda, and then we'll be looking at some of your reactions to this prediction question poll later on at the tail end of the bulletin. But let's now have a look. We'll take a look at some of these messages. We'll come back with many more stories that are making headlines this afternoon.
Use White Star Laundry Bar Soap with a lemon fragrance and you'll have a fresh, clean day. Be like a star. Use White Star.
Don't disturb Daddy. My daddy is a star.
White Star Laundry Bar Soap. All day fresh clean.
More cars for sale on checky.co.ug than anywhere else. Visit www.checky.co.ug today, Uganda's #1 car website.
On the next episode, brought to you by...
At Orange, we know you want to do more on the internet. That's why we bring you happy hour day and night.
Maybe you'll learn not to spend what you don't have.
Veronica, look at me, please. I owe this guy a lot of cash and have no way of paying.
It's part of my job to save Alcino from trouble.
Mari, any news on my car?
As soon as this leg heals, I'm turning myself in.
Oh, I came here to talk about something very important.
Spill it if it's important, come on.
He's not doing well.
You can download movies at the lowest prices and never fast from Orange. Dial *133# to buy a data bundle. Happy hour changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange.
Let's get back to news and updates about the big game that's the Uganda Cranes against Guinea. Now, the Cranes coach Milton Sredejevic will have big decisions to make about reintegrating striker Geoffrey Massa and winger Brian Majega in Uganda's starting 11. Now, from what we are gathering, Massa, who missed the match away to Ghana because of club commitments, that's at Pretoria University, could relegate Brian Omoyne to the bench. And then KCCFC winger Majega, who has proved his fitness following a minor injury, could start from the bench. The back five of Dennis Onyango, Dennis Iguma, Godfrey Walusimbi, Andrew Mwesigwa and Godfrey Baba Kizito is expected to remain unchanged. Khalid Aucho and Tony Maweje are expected to pull the strings in the midfield, and they will be flanked by Moses Soloya and Kizito Luwaga, with Massa ploughing the lone furrow in the attack. So joining me in the studio right now is Mujib Kasule, and is from FUFA, the FUFA Vice President. Thanks for making time to come over to the studio. Former, or you're former? Yes. Who's now the current one?
It's still vacant at the moment.
Still vacant.
Yeah.
There's still some politics up there going on. Let's turn to the big game now. The Uganda Cranes, as far as I know, has not lost a home game. We last lost in 2004. You remember the Bafana game. And first update us, as far as this game is concerned. How are we standing so far? And where are we heading? Are we likely to take it?
I think the team is well prepared. We had a very good opportunity to have gone through the qualifiers, because those 4 matches we played, Madagascar and Mauritania, they helped the boys very well. You can see the team is gelling. The understanding in Ghana was very nice, and the commitment. They know the dream for Uganda. Ugandans want to be in the Africa Cup of Nations, and the boys exhibit that on the pitch. If they continue with the same spirit, I think they'll be fine tonight.
And Mitchell Desire says they're here for a point. They know the Cranes very, very well. And I don't know how Mitchell will react to that. Do you think he will make adjustments to the side that took a point away from Ghana last weekend?
Yeah, he will have to. In football, you always make 1 or 2 changes. There's an old adage that you never change a winning team. But I see Massa coming straight into the team. Massa is our lead striker. He's our #1 striker. He does so much for the team, even when he doesn't score. He makes the defense work tirelessly and gives opportunities for the other players. So I should expect Massa to come into the team and lead that attack. The other boys played very well in Ghana, and I think largely the coach will not change the team.
But why the fans always seem to You know, I compare this now to Arsenal's Giroud and the fans, and they don't see that contribution, that great contribution that Marcel seems to make. This guy has the physique. He's almost like Didier Drogba. He terrorizes defenses, but the fans don't seem to see it. They say the guy is sloppy. He doesn't take the passes as he would have. What exactly do they see in this guy? What is he so unique about Barca that we should actually stick with him? And we missed him, by the way, in the game against Ghana. We didn't see these strikers pick up those balls, especially Amor.
Yeah, the fans are emotional, and if you are emotional, you don't excuse players for missing chances, especially for every chance they get, you want them to score. Yes, Massa has gotten so many chances that he has not been able to convert, but the advantage with him is he never stops working, even when he misses a chance. But he still remains Uganda's #1 striker, and he has been for a long time. You know, he has the physique, he has the speed, and now he has the experience to come along with that. So much as Ugandans think he has not given as much as they would want to see from him, he is still our #1 striker, and without him we really struggle, especially when we play a system of a lone striker.
Okay, let's have a look at history. Seems to be on the side of Guinea, much as when we look at it, the last game we won against them. But the AFCON in May, it was in I think March, something like that. Guinea beat Uganda 2-1, and then the World Cup qualifier we drew 4-4, and then the World Cup qualifiers Guinea at some point beat Uganda 3-0. But I think most recently in the AFCON qualifiers as well, Uganda beat Guinea 3-1. All right. So, do you think history can repeat itself? Because football is superstitions.
History is a very big part of football, and you see when we play Ghana, every time we play Ghana, it's very close, regardless of how strong they are. And against Guinea, and mostly against West African countries, Uganda, we have always struggled a bit. But over the years, we are narrowing the gap. And it's not only for Uganda, but many teams that were struggling before are narrowing the gaps with the so-called big ones. I think we have enough confidence from Saturday in Ghana to go to this game thinking that we can win. We have a home record. The fans are going to be very important for us tonight. So regardless of the history and the strength of Guinea, by the way, they are very strong. It's not going to be an easy game as many people think, because we drew with Ghana, therefore it's
Tell us about some of the most dangerous players, apart from Bangura, the striker.
I don't want much to dwell into their favorite players, because they play as a team, and that's their strength. They have players that play in Borussia, in the Bundesliga, in Italy, all over the place.
I've seen guys who play in the Premier League.
Yes,
Zayate.
Exactly. But I'm not going to expect the coach to look at particular players. I think they are going to deal with the threat of Guinea as a team, and that's the best way to go about it.
Looking at our bench, in case of coaches always prepare for eventualities, what's our bench like?
A very good bench. This is the best the bench has been for a long time, because if Massa goes straight into the team, then you have Brian Omoin to come in. You still have Diego Kiza. If Brian Majega starts on the bench, I think he can do very good when he comes on. There is Alex Kakuba, who plays in Portugal. If he starts on the bench, he can also do some very good work for us. So the bench for me is very good. If we need a goalkeeper, if you get a problem, we have a very steady the Ankara goalkeeper. So the bench is very good. The team looks good, and Ugandans should be very optimistic.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mojib. And we haven't lost our home game in 10 years. Definitely a loss will not come, and we have to go and buy those tickets if they are already there, if they are still there, by the way.
It's important, especially now, the mathematics of the group. We need to win all our home games to get to 10 points. There, our chances are very, very big to go through.
Will people be able to get tickets of these special sessions?
I think they should, if they are still there. Okay, all fantastic. I can do is tell them to go and watch the game, because the players are going to need them.
All right, former FIFA Vice President Mujib Kasule, and a man who is also very, very well experienced as far as Uganda football is concerned. And let's have a look at this poll question. We're still waiting for your reactions and opinions as far as our poll question is concerned this afternoon. What are your predictions of today's match between Uganda Cranes and Guinea at Nambole Stadium? Send us your comments to our Facebook or Twitter, or you can even get us on Facebook. Let's move on now. Census enumerators in Masaka have staged a demonstration over delayed payments. And the charged enumerators stormed the offices of the Uganda Bureau of Statistics offices in Nyendo town, demanding their pay.
These are scenes from yesterday. Enumerators from the Senyange division demonstrating at the Ubos offices in Nyendo town. They claimed they had not yet been paid.
Please, we are going to get our money today, okay?
Even though the census had been extended for 2 days in some areas, this did not apply to this division.
Bataddemu obutali bugumiikiriza. Tukyatunulira ebitabo byabwe bye baakoze ate bagamba ffe twagala ki? Twagala ssente zaffe.
All enumerators had been promised payment immediately after the close of the census exercise. Countrywide, the cry is the same. Many enumerators have not been paid. In Wosia, the enumerators withheld the data collected. They say they will only release it after their payment is made.
And let's move on now to living life. In a bid to survive, some people go an extra mile to do what others consider the riskiest of jobs. Here is a 45-year-old man, a husband and a father of 4, who graces the streets of Kampala every morning to make a penny out of performing stunts.
When you first meet him, Edward Semfuka passes off as one of those idlers around town. Who among us would risk his life by balancing on a stool placed on 3 soda bottles? Or who can actually walk a tightrope tied high above the ground between 2 posts? These are feats for only the daring. Well, what you think of as extreme is what Semfuka, a father of 4, does to earn a quick buck. Semfuka is a stunt performer, a skill he learned when he was only 10 in Kenya, where he was working as a herdsman.
Kati ne wajjawo omusajja yali yeefumita ekikwanso wano. Ati ng'atambulira ne ku muguwa ng'akola akatebe k'Abachina, nange ne ngamba awo waani. Kankole ki nange kantandika okwetrainingira, nalabira awo.
This energetic man performs up to 10 stunts a day, many of which actually put his life at risk.
Agute kambulago bamutuge enayagalayo omusajja omukirimanyi nene omusajja omukirimanyi sikasika baba
As soon as he gets into a place, Semfuka does not need to announce his presence. One by one, the crowds start to gather to come and see extraordinary things that this man has to do.
It's just like a stone. Even if you kicking one ngumi, he cannot understand.
I think the man is using magics, because a real person who is normal can't do such thing.
Temuli dagala yadde n'akato. Sikozesa sinywa mwenge sinywa njaga. Naye ate oli bwandaba ansubiriza okukozesa enjaga.
His favorite and best performed stunt is lifting heavy stones using his teeth.
Kilo ze nali nsitula zaasalako kati nsitula 8 nsamba kilo ze nkomako.
While he does this to fend for his family, Semfuka's stunts are not a thing for the feeble-hearted. He clearly uses so much energy and as such lives on a specific diet. Semfuka delights in his job. However, as it is with any other job, these stunts sometimes go wrong. And the challenges come in many ways. For example, being referred to as a conman in some of the places where he has performed. Although this job enables Semfuka to fend for his family, his second wife says that he worries her all the time. Semfuka's is a combination of both talent and training, and even if his family and other people may not approve of his occupation, he is not about to give up. Gertrude Tumusime Witkwade, NTV.
Thank you, Gertrude. Now, the death toll from the worst Ebola outbreak in history has risen to almost 2,300 and is accelerating as government ministers in Liberia and that's worst hit and affected country warned the disease was devouring everything in its path. The World Health Organization said yesterday the death toll had rapidly escalated to 2,296 out of 4,293 cases in 5 West African countries and was expecting thousands of new cases in Liberia over the next 3 weeks. At the United Nations in New York, Liberia's Minister for National Defense, Brownie Samkai, warned that his country was facing a catastrophe as it battled against the disease. He told the United Nations Security Council that Liberia is facing a serious threat to its national existence and that the deadly Ebola virus has caused the disruption of the normal functioning of the state. Liberia has recorded 2,046 cases, resulting in 1,224 deaths. Guinea has 862 cases and 555 deaths. Sierra Leone, 1,361 cases and 509 deaths. And Nigeria, 21 cases and 8 deaths. And Senegal, 3 cases are confirmed and 2 suspected. The World Health Organization Director of Disease, Sylvia Briand, told a meeting in Geneva that it believed the figures were underestimated, especially in Liberia. Latest data released by the World Health Organization indicated that while the outbreak has been gathering pace for months, about 60% of Liberia's cases and deaths occurred within the last 3 weeks. In other news, officials say the death toll from the flooding in India and Pakistan is now more than 400, as both countries warn of more damage in the week ahead. The floods in northwestern India and northeastern Pakistan have affected almost 1 million people in both countries, killing at least 203 in Pakistan and 200 in India. At least 12 people were killed in Lahore yesterday when the roof of a mosque collapsed during the afternoon prayer. The collapse was blamed on the effects of the downpours. The PTI news agency reports that in India, rescue efforts have focused on southern Kashmir and the main city of Srinagar, with about 400,000 of the 1.2 million population still stranded. Let's have a look at what's happening in sports now. Ferrari's Luca Di Montemoro is to step down as a long-time chairman of the Formula One team. And in football, Chelsea star Willian scored the winner as Brazil beat Ecuador in New Jersey to continue Dunga's perfect start as Brazil's coach.
Luca Di Montemoro has resigned as Ferrari's president, bringing an end to one of the most successful eras in the history of Formula One's most famous brands. Di Montemoro paid the price for a lean recent spell of success, with his position no longer tenable after last Sunday's Italian Grand Prix, at which the team scored just 2 points. Di Montemoro served as assistant to Enzo Ferrari and later as president for 23 years. His departure robs the sport of another of its big beasts. Meanwhile, Chelsea star Willian scored the winner as Brazil beat Ecuador in New Jersey to continue Dunga's perfect start as coach. The decisive moment came on the half hour when Neymar curled a free kick over the defense to Willian, who controlled and finished with the outside of his right foot. Willian was part of a Chelsea trio on the pitch at the MetLife Stadium, with Oscar and Ramirez also impressing as Brazil continued their recovery from the summer's World Cup nightmare. Following on from the weekend's win over Colombia in Miami, new coach Dunga, who replaced Luis Felipe Scolari following the tournament, was encouraged by the victory.
And you look Brazil. Let's have a look at some of. I've got two comments here now from Nicholas Tumuramia. Says Uganda will win 1-0, and then Isabi Yeberi passes says Uganda will win 2-1. That's the game between Uganda and Guinea. But keep your predictions coming in. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And of course, right now, let me head to Nambole Stadium where Ismail Dakawachgongo is. We're going to get him on phone to tell us what is going on. Yes, Ismail. Yes, Ismail. Okay, Ismail, what is the mood at Nambole Stadium?
Malcolm, good afternoon. I could first of all tell you that there is already over 100 people who have just been pushed out of the stadium as the police and the private security company that is right here are just about to do their bomb sweep of the stadium for security reasons. So everyone has been told to leave. I was actually amazed to find that at this point in time, there is a political education and military course that has been ongoing at Nambole. And all those people who are taking part, the participants, have also been told to leave at this point in time just to conduct the bomb sweep. I'm right outside the gate at the stadium where I see a lot of red and metal, of course, because of the sponsors. And right down at the roundabout, not far from the stadium, I can hear there is a band that is playing the Uganda Cranes Oye song, and also inviting people to buy their tickets right outside the gate, a few meters from the gate, so that they could access the stadium. So, Malcolm, I could comfortably say I've been told by the people here in charge, Patrick Bernard-Eguel, the former vice president, that the gates will start to open in 30 minutes, that's at around 2 p.m., and people should be able to start accessing the stadium.
Okay, so apart from the security precautions, I mean, what else should we expect from the Uganda Cranes camp? What is talk coming out of there? Are all players okay? Do we have injuries? Injuries tend to come in the last minutes, and that last minutes in trainings.
I was there last evening for the training session that the Uganda Cranes held. That was at around 9 p.m. under the floodlights. And that session was not only to test the floodlights, but to also prepare the players for that moment when they'll play under the lights later today. I've got to say that the team has been extremely tight-lipped on what situation they're in. But at least I've had a chance to speak to Fred Katende Malibu, the Cranes media officer, earlier today, and was telling me there is hardly any new injury to report, with the exception of the fact that Isaac is still the defender who missed the game in Kumasi due to injury. That's the official line. Though I would love to think that the problem was actually of the way he performed in that season last week on Tuesday in Niger. That's the reason it was dropped for Savio Kabugo, and it's the one that I've been told that will be a late fitness call if he's to get into the team. On the other hand, Malcolm, there's also very good news to report that Brian McGregor, who didn't travel to Kumasi because of his injury,
Okay, Ismail's line seems to be is not a nice line. We apologize for that sound hitch, but we will get Ismail later on. But let's have a look at some of more of your predictions as far as the Nambole game is concerned. Guinea versus Uganda. Muyinda Ayub, thank you very much. You're saying Uganda wins 1, then Guinea 0. And Gordon Chambade, you're saying Uganda wins 3, Guinea 2. Tony Twister 2-0. Matwa David 1-0, and to you Simon Wamala Monox, you say Uganda wins 3-1. Everyone seems to be posting predictions in favor of the Uganda Cranes. Okay, and you can still keep your predictions coming in. What are your predictions, Uganda and Guinea? But you will now be connecting with Omuri Mizanyo, where you will be able, to tell them what you think about the big game today. And that's it on NTV at 1. We'll now be connecting to Studio B, where our experts are to give us more updates and, of course, other news from around the country. But, of course, about the big game. Thank you and have a good afternoon.